Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition, to another installment of Hashtag Fade to Black on this very special Saturday show. Obviously, Friday we didn't do a show, but I wanted to come on here to make it up to y'all. So this is gonna be a pretty good, quick, straight, clear cut show up. The word's not coming out. I apologize. It's been a bit of busy day today. But I want to do a quick shout out to one of our panelists. Hopefully, let me go ahead and find it. Hold up, real quick. We got a special announcement for our dog, and I am talking about our homie, Mr. Beast Johnson. His album. Well, I won't say his album. His singles that he's been coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the amount of listeners of his singles. You got Buffalo, you got Dallas, you got Chicago, you even got Germany. Ladies and gentlemen, Germany. And then this one right here. Look at that. And then here at my neck of the woods. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Beast Johnson and the grind that he's doing as an independent artist. If this does not show to you that having your independence means everything, then I don't know what is. But Beast Johnson is living proof that if you keep grinding, keep doing your own thing, things are eventually going to happen to you. Hopefully he pops in before the show goes off the air. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, check out Beast Johnson on Spotify. He got a couple of jams out. I actually been listening to his jams as of late. I got it on my playlist. So I encourage each and every one of you to do the same. I encourage y'all to do the same as well. Once again, that's Beast Johnson. Look him up on Spotify. You can look him up on all platforms, Apple Play, Google Music as well. And we got my boy Jason Woodard. What up, dog? Welcome on the show. Now, with that set aside, so I want to get something off my chest with what's been going on as of late. We all know what is going on in Palestine, and we all know what's going on here in the States. I want to talk about this video that just came up on my Facebook timeline. I won't say Facebook timeline, but Instagram. About Tamika Mallory. So Tamika Mallory, she went on. Let me look her up. Tamika. Not Tia Mallory. I'm looking for Tamika. Hold up, let me see. I do one better. Let me look on Tariq Nasheed. He was the one that posted the first video. So I want y'all to give this a little look.
Obviously stopping this stupid wall that they're building. He dealt with the Muslim ban, getting rid of the Muslim ban. He dealt with making sure that I think 11 million people will become citizens. So he's doing things, right? But with Black folks, you can't just sign something to say stop killing Black people. It's not that simple. So he did immigration,
So a lot of people, well, a lot of our people are up in arms about what she said. Now, on the surface, it sounds terrible. It's, you'd be like, what is she talking about? Joe Biden is doing all these things for these other ethnicity, and he's not doing anything for us. And people like Tariq Nasheed going to jump on that, and they're going to eat it up for what it is. Knee-jerk reaction. Y'all can come at me any way y'all want to, but I'm going to let y'all know. What she said wasn't wrong. What she said, she wasn't wrong. Let's take away all the other stuff she said that Biden did. I mean, it was great that, he got rid of all that stuff. That's not the important part right now. The important part is what she said at the end. So do y'all know how executive order works? Just ask yourselves that. Mainly to all my people, all my black folks. Do y'all know how executive order works? Do y'all know what executive order is? All of y'all are jumping through hoops, sitting there saying, well, why he just don't put executive order? Why he don't do that? Da 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 da. And it always gonna go back to why I always say we need a super PAC. We need to have people groomed in these positions so we can get what we want. Right now, we are disorganized. People don't want to believe that. That is the straight up truth. But I'm gonna go. It's gonna lead to that. So I'm putting too much on the Barbie, as they say. I put too much good barbecue on this chicken. Okay, so let me just hold off on it because we're getting there. If y'all actually, like, you know what? Let's look up the executive order. Let's look that up together because a lot of people just like to say things just to say things because it sounds great. So let me see. Executive. Let me do the famous. Let me do this real quick. Executive order. That's me on Google. I don't think y'all can hear that. I don't think y'all heard that, so let me go ahead and read it. So let me stop this one. Let me go ahead and share it. So let's look this up. So let me see. All right, cool. We're gonna get educated together. Okay, so let's see. An executive order is a means of issuing federal directives in the United States used by the President of the United States that manages operations of the federal government. The legal and constitutional basis for executive order has multiple sources. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's use Obamacare, for example, or what is actually called the Affordable Care Act. That was an executive order. President Obama used executive order because he was not getting help for a Republican ran Congress. So he said, you know what, F y'all, I'm going to put it out there. But here's the thing with what happened with the Affordable Care Act. When you got states that are trying to stop it, not only just stop it, they are trying to take funding away from it or making up lies to justify that we're not going to push the Affordable Care or Obamacare because it was an executive order. It wasn't, ladies and gentlemen, actually a policy or a bill to where they had to follow it. Yes, an executive order does has its effects. It does. But if it's not on writing or is in the books or in the laws that got passed by Congress and signed off by the president, then what? Like we could go all the way back in the past with Reconstruction, with what happened with all the not the Confederate, but the Union soldiers in the South. That was an executive order for all the troops to come back, but as well as keeping everything intact. Slaves, they gonna do okay, they gonna do it right, but executive order for them to leave. And then guess what happened? Everything just went haywire. Blacks lost their lands. Blacks were getting killed because of an executive order. Executive order if we look at it in layman's terms, it's only a temporary fix. That's all it is. It's not legislation. It's just a temporary fix. It's a temporary fix to then after we have to deal with the after effects. Do we want to put it into law? Do we want to write legislations on it? Or are we going to get rid of it? So it's easy for us to sit there and say, why he won't make an executive decision? To tell you the truth, I was thinking about it. I'm not even going to lie to you. It would be nice if the president does an executive order. It would be great. But then, do you want something that's temporary or something long-term? Those are things y'all have to be asking yourselves. But then what you're doing is you putting damn if you do, damn if you don't on the president. But how about this? Maybe, besides y'all getting y'all panties in a bunch over Tamika Mallory, to call y'all local representatives, to give them a call, to let them know, hey, I don't like what is going on in my streets. I don't like that the police is being protected. I don't like when I walk out of my door, I got a target on my back. You know what? My kids have a target on their back. That's one of the last things I want to think about. These are the things y'all should be calling y'all local representatives and your state and the ones that are in Capitol Hill that's in Washington, D.C. right now. I'm just so sick and tired of us sitting there whining, moping, complaining, well, the president should do this, the president should do that. We so worried about what is going on at the top that we forget that they got layers. There's layers, as they say, there's layers to the game. It's not always at the top. Like when people say, I got to go for the head of the snake. Okay, that's true. You want to cut the head off the snake. That's fine. But guess what? When you chop the head off the snake, guess what the body's going to do? The body's just not going to die. The snake body's going to keep moving. Well, you know, government and politics have not worked for us. You want to know why it hasn't worked for us? Because you choose not to vote. You choose not to go to the town hall meetings to understand what is going on in your local politics. You choose not to do none of these things. You chose not to. I'm sorry. It's a hard pill to swallow, but guess what? You got to swallow. I would give you a bottle of water, but I'm all out. Y'all get mad for what Tamika Mallory said. Y'all even got mad because she did a commercial with Cadillac, even though I can't stand Cadillac. Lincoln guy here. But that's besides the point about me. Y'all got mad at her for doing a commercial that still have her talking about inequality in a Cadillac commercial. Y'all got mad. And I'm scratching my head like, I don't see no damn issues about it. Are y'all the same ones that wait until y'all wait until the brand new Cadillac comes out to either lease it or put a down payment on it? We gotta be fair. We gotta be fair. And that too, Dan, correct. Y'all the same ones that get mad, but y'all get mad at Tamika Mallory for making a commercial about Cadillac, but y'all be the first ones to sit there and tell y'all homeboys or homegirls, oh, I got, you know, I want to get that new Cadillac. You know, I've been, you know, I've been saving my money up for it and all that stuff. I know this dealer, he about to give me a discount. Don't tell me you're not one of those people. And then also how y'all sit there and say all these political activists that's actually putting in the work, that also doing their side hustles, like the lady from Black Lives Matter, who y'all say, oh, she bought $1 million house and all that stuff, don't realize she already had books out that was New York bestsellers. She also, I believe, she kind of deal with Warner Brothers on movies. She also she does tours where she go make speeches. I forgot what you call it, but she goes on those type of tours. And also, if y'all understand or tuned in to the show where we was talking about nonprofits don't pay for people's personal expenses. You want to know why? 2 reasons. Number one, they got to put that on their taxes. They got to put that on their taxes. And if they found out that money was used for personal expenses, they could go to jail or get into real big trouble. And number two, she gonna have to put herself as getting a salary. And I don't think, she's still with Black Lives Matter. Let me see. The problem is that everyone is sitting quit and now saying a word, not saying a word, but now when something happens, they sit and start complaining. Truth to power. And then also, I say this too. If you don't like the activists that's out here, then what are you doing? Why don't you get off your ass and do something? It is nice and quick to get on your freaking Twitter, to get on your Facebook or whatever social media, on Instagram, and you sit there, you put your displeasure, you can type whatever y'all want to, or go on your phone and just type like, you ain't shit. And then my question is going to be to you. What are you doing? Like I looked up this other let me see. I think I saved it on my favorites. Like I got a lot to get off my chest, ladies and gentlemen. A lot. I just wish I had my panel here. Let me see. I didn't save it. But yeah, but let's continue to talk about this Tamika Mallory situation. This is a weak outrage. People saying that now she's going on different shows because she's getting drugged and everybody found out that she's a fake, that she's a phony. She's been doing this for over 30 years, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe even more than that. So she can't get money. She can't get an income, just like the lady from Black Lives Matter. She can't get a side hustle and make money. They do got a life, kids, and their own business. I think Tamika Mallory got her own practice too. I think she's a lawyer. So now you're going to condemn her for being a lawyer too? We get so caught up in our own struggles that when we see somebody that's trying to help us with our struggles doing a lot better than us, not because of our struggle or making money off our struggles, we get mad. We get frustrated. We get pissed off. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of seeing my people getting killed by police. I'm sick of tired of seeing other ethnicities going through the same things that we're going through. But mainly our people getting killed on the streets. And you got activists that are actually putting in the work, that's actually doing the work. And all y'all can say, Oh, they're making money off of the deaths of black men and women, definitely children. And then you wonder why we are still in the same and having this revolving, repeating wheel when something like this happens. It's so sad that white supremacy knows that this mess is going to happen. Or it's going to be so much infighting. They're going to go after each other. They're not going to know who to trust now. And it could be the right person at the right time doing everything right. But who's going to criticize them the most? Their own people. I could care less if the activists got a brand new top of the line F-150 or got a nice mansion on the hill. I care about that they care that, damn, this happened to Morris. I want to help him out. Get him out this situation. That not only by helping him out, that others can see what Morris is going through and how I helped him. And be a force in the neighborhood. And be a force for black folks. But we're just worried about them, the car that they drive, how much money they're making, and the house that they have. I could care less. And you should be caring less too. Tamika Mallory had put in her work and she gotten the results. But y'all still going to condemn her. She's not going on a tour just to save face. No, she's going on tour to keep the awareness on what is going on in the streets. Now, if you want somebody that's actually profiting off a black struggle, look no further than the black conscious community. Not all of them. Certain names. One that's trying to build a school. And another one that's trying to make a freaking organization to counter ADOS. And speaking of ADOS, I haven't heard much from them neither. But y'all give money to these folks. What have y'all got? I remember, cut the check. I don't see no check. Ain't nothing cutting. Nothing going on but the rent. So, ladies and gentlemen, make it make sense. All the energy that we should be putting it to, we're not. We actually putting it to the soldiers. I won't even say soldiers, the platoon sergeants, the platoon leaders that's actually in the trenches. We're getting mad for all the work they are trying to do, but they can't do the work because we get mad at them because they got commercial endorsements. They got book deals. They going on television. Spreading the word. One thing I can say about Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton may have conned his way to where he's at now. But one thing you cannot say about Al Sharpton. He gets results. He goes to the towns. I'm not saying he goes to every town where these tragedies happens, but when he goes there, things get done. People show out. I can say that for Reverend Al Sharpton. I can say that. My question is, can you say that to all these other folks where y'all sitting there saying, well, Umar Johnson, he's saying everything right. He's saying, he's saying everything true. But what has he done to make your life less stressful than yesterday? What has he done systemically or influenced systemically to make your life better? Think about that. If I'm going to get biblical, the double says everything. I mean, the double says truthful things. Truth come out of his mouth too. But there's a motive behind that. You see what I'm saying? Even the bad kids say the truth. But once again, it's the motive. Like everybody want to sit there, we hold on to their words to the point where we holding people like Candace Owens when she say stuff. Oh, well, she was right on that point, but then everything else is bullshit. But she still had a point. And y'all gonna hold on to that word. Don't even know y'all about to get led off a cliff. But y'all will focus it on somebody else. Focus all that energy that you got fucked over from Candace Owens to putting your freaking hate, vigor, all that stuff on people like Tamika Mallory. And she was the one that was trying to keep you from going from the bridge. I mean, going over the edge. Didn't listen to her, but for some reason, it's her fault. You got led over the edge, that you went over. For me, when I hear people say, when I know who the person is, and then they made some points, I'll be like, yeah, you made a point, but it still doesn't take away that you're a piece of shit. Period. I believe if we was like that much more, we wouldn't be having issues with what Tamika Mallory was saying. Or what people like Tamika Mallory is doing. None of us wouldn't be having no issues. There wouldn't be problems. We're so caught up in talking about the issues and the problems that we forget about the solutions and forget about the people that's working to those solutions or who already found the solutions. It's like, damn, what do you want? Because if I was in Tamika Mallory's shoes and I just kept hearing all this hate for what I'm doing, even when it's in my personal life, my other side, and people start bitching about it, I would just say, fuck it. I'm not even going to lie to you. I would have been like, you know what? Y'all handle your own shit. It seemed like what I'm doing ain't working for you. So I'm not going to waste your time. You find somebody else. I'm going to go back being a lawyer, work on this book deal, and all that stuff. Because she could have pushed that to the side, which she probably did, to help out with this. Help out with Black issues, to find the solutions. But if it was me, I'd be like, fuck y'all. And that's why we got so many Black folks. They got that's on that individualism. Where they're like, I'm done with that. That's why a lot of them don't go back to the hood to bring that knowledge or start businesses in their communities. I'm not going to sit there and say we are our own worst enemy. I'm not saying that. We just got to understand and separate the actual people that's actually helping us to the people that's hindering us. And then the people that's actually profiting off our struggles. Y'all really have to sit back and analyze the situation for what it is. Because if you sit there, you giving money to these so-called black conscious leaders, and you're getting nothing in return, you should be turning your energy to somebody like Tamika Mallory that's actually in the field getting shit done. Not trying, getting shit done. It's crazy how this country just makes the victim the predator and make the predator the victim. And we don't even realize, as us as black folks, are doing that to our own when they're trying to help us out. And you got those who's getting money for saying the right things and not doing nothing for you. And just talk about the issues and talk about the problems and not give you a solution or doing anything to influence systemically, make it into law type stuff. I wasn't even going to come on this show to do all this, but I am. And I'm doing it now. It's ridiculous. Somebody had to say it, so I said, might as well be me. Because those same folks that's coming at Tamika Mallory, the same ones that I say on this show countless times, that will be the ones on their phone. Hey, man, like I just saw a video of a dude had the cops called on him. I don't know if it was a Denny's, but it was a restaurant where he was told to leave. He was the police was there. The police said, well, you gotta go. And the guy said, okay, I'm leaving. And the cop grabbed him, had the taser ready, and you had two brothers with the camera like this. Hey, bro, don't resist. Hey, cop, stop grabbing him like that. Grown ass men. Those are the same people that comes after Tamika Mallory sitting there saying that she's profiting off our struggles. Those are the ones I can't stand. When you see another one of your brothers and sisters held against their will, and then not to mention, luckily that police officer didn't have his freaking M9 in his hand, and you just sat there and just yell behind the fucking camera, recording. Yeah, those are the ones that's complaining. Those are the ones that are bitching. Also, those are the ones that sitting there saying, well, male masculinity is an issue and a problem. They got the gay agenda out there. And you couldn't even jump in and save that brother. Scared. And I'm not trying to say that because I'm on a roll or I'm behind a freaking camera or a freaking mic. Knock on wood. Thank goodness that didn't happen around me and my wife. Honestly, I'm to the point, if I see that shit, I don't even give a damn. It's a person I don't even know. I'm stepping in. But none of y'all who sit there and bitch and moan and complain will do that, because you think about yourself. And still, in the same breath, on the same exact day, have the nerve to go back and be like, man, F the police. I'm a man. And you ain't did shit. Or I'm just going to mind my business. But when it happens to you and nobody does anything, now all of a sudden, man, the world sucks. Man, fuck the world. Make it make sense. But let me get back on track. I'm kind of getting off the rails a little bit. For the people that are complaining and saying that these activists are making a living off our struggles, two things you have to and got to do right now. Number one, look yourself in the damn mirror. What gives you the damn audacity to tell activists you don't need to be doing that? What are you doing? Why are you going on these book tours? Why are you going on these tours? Why are you getting all these houses and all that stuff? What gave you the damn audacity? Look yourself in the mirror. And while you look yourself in the mirror, it trickles down to number 2. What are you doing to improve Black lives? What are you doing to keep the awareness on the street and letting every congressman and woman know what the fuck is going on, or local politician, what the fuck is going on, and not letting up? What are you doing? Once again, it is easy to get behind your laptop and write on blogs, write on Twitter. Well, go to the person's profile and write on Twitter, you ain't shit. You're the Illuminati. You are part of the establishment. And you don't know shit. What is the establishment? What is the Illuminati? You will mention all these names, but you will not know exactly what the Illuminati is or the establishment is. People think they're smart for their own good. And I'm telling you, y'all not. I can admit that for myself. And a lot of y'all don't admit when y'all wrong. We're just putting all of our anger on the wrong people. Putting all your anger on the people that's actually doing something. Let that linger on your membrane. Let that not linger, let that marinate on your membrane. These are sad times. Because for all y'all that love to complain about all these activists, look what's going on in Palestine. Even though I know majority of y'all don't fucking care. But guess what? Y'all gonna care today. If y'all watch. If you watch this far, y'all gonna care today. Or if y'all send this video to any of y'all friends, I want y'all to share this. Look what's going on in Palestine. And how many people have been standing up for Palestine and what's going on in Gaza right now. You don't hear not one of them complaining about any of the people, all the activists that are standing up saying something about it. You don't hear not one bitch moan, complain. Oh, snap, he making this amount of money. Oh, she got a new endorsement deal. You don't hear not one. We're the only ones that do that shit. Probably other groups does it, but those Palestinians are not bitching, not one bit, about the activists that are stepping up and actually putting in work, getting to the results. We're the only ones. Sometimes when you don't get progress and you put faith in somebody to get the progress, but you keep bitching and moaning on what we need to do next or how's it going, sometimes you got to put the finger to yourself and be like, damn, maybe it's just me that is hindering my own progress. I'm sorry for the noise outside. See, these are things you got to think about, ladies and gentlemen. You have to think and to believe that. Hold on real quick. Apologies about that. All right. But there are times where you could be the one to hinder your own progress. Because you know that old saying goes, if you can't find somebody else to do it yourself. Because if you do that, guess what? All the issues, all the problems goes on your back, including the success and the triumph. But when you got people that's actually doing what they need to do and that y'all talked about that they're going to do, and you sit there saying no, 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 and get mad all the time, it's not their fault. That's your fault. That's your fault. And we need to stop doing this shit. And then if you don't want Tamika Mallory to help out or to continue to work for us to get us where we need to be, are you going to take her spot? Who's going to take her place? Now, I know there's other activists that's not on a high scale as Tamika Mallory. I understand that wholeheartedly and fully. But my thing is, because y'all know me, I don't believe in protests. I believe protests is one of the most brainless, mindless things to do now because it's expected. But if those activists, this is coming from me, if those local activists is not doing the moving and the shaking to the point where the whole world or somebody like me that's in Seattle, Washington, don't know anything about, they ain't doing that much. They may have maybe known locally, which is good. But the goal is you want the whole damn state and the whole country to know what the F is going on here. And if you got activists in your communities that is not having media attention and having the attention of the state, because usually when you have the attention of the state, you will have the attention of the country eventually. If that's not happening in your little community, your activists ain't doing that much. Maybe your attention should be on them rather than Tamika Mallory. I'm all about keep the same energy. So if you want to sit there and be just as mad at Tamika Mallory for doing her side business and still keeping the word out on what's going on with the Black community, you need to be doing the same thing with your local activists. Because if it's not getting state attention and not getting nationwide attention, then that activist ain't doing shit. He or she ain't doing nothing. If those activists are not going to the state capitol or going to the U.S. capitol to talk about the issues going on in that community, then that activist ain't doing much. You should be just as equally as mad at Tamika Mallory with that local local activists. You gotta keep the same energy, y'all. Period. Gotta keep that same energy. We just can't, in one breath, be mad at, I'm gonna use Al Sharpton, for example. We can't be mad at Al Sharpton for, profiting off of Black struggle when you got Mr. Farrakhan that's in Chicago that's just sitting down and ain't doing shit. Yeah, I said it. He just sit down well, I won't say sitting down. He probably crafting up a speech right now in front of his congregation. Mark my words on it. He's coming up with the speech, and you can have his brothers like Ben X and Rizza Islam and whoever else going to be talking about how they gonna find conspiracies about it. And then he goes and say, "Well, see, this is what happened, black folk. This is what happened, da 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 da," and don't do nothing. Keep the same energy. Keep it on both sides. Don't sit there and get mad at one side when the other side's doing the same exact thing too. Period. Because I don't see Minister Farrakhan going to the streets or going to the local police sheriff's office and say, release those people. Let me speak to the chief of police. You don't see him doing that or any of his freaking disciples. Let that sink in. Like I said, people can talk a real good game to the point where they criticize the people that's actually doing and putting in the work and getting results. But y'all believe them. Hold them to a different light. Hold them to a different candle. But still demonize people like Tamika Mallory. But Al Sharpton, he says everything correct. He's right. He's exactly right. When y'all should be asking, so, Mr. Farrakhan, what's next? What you gonna do next? But no. Which lead me to, once again, it's been a while since I mentioned it on the show, and I'm gonna mention it right now. Super PAC. Super PAC, Super PAC, Super PAC. Thanks to Mayo, I realized there's two separate Super PACs. So the Super PAC that I'm talking about is the one where you groom young brothers, young sisters in that community, understand local politics, put them in position of power to change the policies. And then once you got local, then you got the state. Then you start pushing them up higher in the state, have them take seats in the House, have them take seats in the Senate, governorship, have them run for governor. And then later, then we talking about national. Now we talk about the U.S. Capitol. Now we talk about the U.S. Senate, U.S. House of Representatives, then on and so forth. You want to know why we don't get too much going our way? It's because we do not have a super PAC where we got like-minded individuals with these type of philosophies, same ideas, and to know how to stick together and to push our agenda. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, that's a simple answer with a simple solution. Super PAC, Super PAC, Super PAC. Like I said, why do you think you still got those damn Republicans still in the seats? Because of that freaking Tea Party. You still got those people that was the Tea Partiers in the early 2000s and on. They just switched the name to Trump supporters. That's basically what it is. Now imagine if we have a super PAC like that to keep our own in. Our issues, our philosophies, our policies, our laws. Imagine. Working on the outside ain't going to get you power. No matter what anybody says. Because you can sit there, you can do all the little conventions you want amongst your people, but if you're not having those same conventions within the structure, it don't mean shit. You're basically just have a group of friends with a freaking with a whiteboard writing down ideas at the house. If you're not in a professional setting doing that, then that don't mean shit. Period. Super PAC, super PAC, super PAC. A powerful super PAC at that. And once again, what Tamika Mallory said in that video, for anybody who tuned in late, you probably gonna see it on Twitter, maybe Instagram. Just put Tamika Mallory. What she said, once again, she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong. And for everybody, once again, who is saying executive order is, like I said about protests, is shit thrown against the wall, hoping that sticks. If you do a legislation, if I said that right, write in a policy and a law distinctly to say, stop killing black folks. I'm just saying an example. If you got it written into law and passed by the House and the Senate, now we cooking. Executive order is not going to do that much. Yes, it's going to happen now, but you have to think long term. Short term, yes. Long term, So what Tamika Mallory said wasn't wrong. I'd rather have something We're back. They try to stop me, y'all. They try to stop me. My phone actually just died. I actually had hooked up to my phone. But yeah, like I was saying, like I was saying, Tamika Mallory wasn't wrong. Executive order only can go so far. I'd rather have something in writing than hearing something. Because y'all know what happens when people hear this and hear that. It becomes a game of telephone. I'm already going through it with me taking somebody's word for it. I'm already on the receiving end of that pause. When you take somebody's word, and then the next thing you know, it's gone like a fart in the wind. I'd rather have something in writing. And for those who is getting mad and take heat for what Tamika Mallory said, once again, look yourself in the damn mirror. And number two, what are you doing that's any better? What are you doing to make my life and everybody else lives less worrisome for the next day? Think about that. Think about that, Black America. Think about that, America in general. Because once again, what's going on in Palestine, what's going on in Gaza, and all the activists around the world that are stepping up to be with Palestine, they're not criticizing activists. They're not saying anything wrong. I think a couple of the activists are freaking politicians. Ain't that something? They politicians too. Let that just simmer on your brain. And none of them, the Palestinian people, are criticizing them, cussing them out, or anything like that. Just saying. And that would do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like having a surprise show on Sunday, but who knows? But we'll be back on Monday. Like I said, it was a one-man show today, and I just had to get that off my chest. Y'all have a good one. But I want to show y'all some before we head on out officially. We'll show you some shows. Well, a show that's going to be coming back since the NFL season is around the corner. It's time for us to get ready. And so the Unrehearsed podcast will be back. On that, I have been your host, Donnell Monte Morris, your host. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.